To help us break it all down, let's welcome in Eric Nehm, who covers the Bucks for The Athletic. Eric, been a busy couple days, weeks, months for you, my friend. Heck, I mean, the last week alone, you've spoken to Doc Rivers, GM John Horst, and Giannis as well. So let's start with Doc. He is now out as the Bucks head coach. Did you see this coming?
Yeah, I think the last couple weeks, Doc has started to hint at the idea of no longer continuing as the Bucks head coach. And throughout all that time, he didn't really want to reveal exactly what was the next step. At The Athletic last night, we were able to report that the Bucks would enjoy having him around the organization, still having him in a role where, he could do some advising or something like that. But Rivers would maybe prefer to take a break, and we'll kind of see how all of that goes and where they decide on that. But yeah, it did seem like in the last couple of weeks, Doc had kind of come to terms with the idea that he was no longer going to be the Bucks head coach.
So Doc Rivers now out, and look, Eric, why didn't this work out in Milwaukee? I mean, he's got the 5th most wins by an NBA coach in history. He's a Hall of Famer now going into this year's class. Why couldn't he get this team back to that championship caliber form?
Yeah, largely I think it does start with injuries, and I don't want to make excuses, and I don't think injuries are an excuse. Their first season, you have some injuries with Damian Lillard and Giannis, and in 2024 you have the same thing, and this past year Giannis was out for more games than he's been out for in any season in his NBA career. So I think it starts there, and then I would say, tactically, I don't know that Doc Rivers met the moment, that, there were definitely some tactics that are a little bit dated and maybe didn't keep up with the times. And I just thought the Bucks lost their way this season, as, they started the season hoping to make the playoffs, hoping to, make a playoff run and continue the contending that they've done over the years. And then get into the spot where they're just not there. They only win 32 games, and, they finish 11 games behind the last team in the play-in tournament in the Eastern Conference.
Now, the Bucks have a ton of questions, Eric, to answer this offseason, ton of uncertainty, especially when it comes to their superstar Giannis and his future right here in Milwaukee. Eric, I know you spoke with him after the game on Sunday. What did he have to say about possibly returning, or what he's even thinking about doing this offseason?
Yeah, I think it all kind of starts with when when he can actually sign an extension. That date is October 1st. So we're talking a long ways away. And honestly, after pretty much everything that the Bucks would do this offseason. And, when I asked him if he thought he's played his last game as a member of the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis said, I don't really know. That's not up to me. And I think what's interesting about that is, controlling owner Wes Edens did do an interview with ESPN where he kind of mentioned an ultimatum where either Giannis is going to sign an extension or he's going to get traded. And while that's an interesting way to frame it, it's not necessarily the truth, because the Bucks are probably going to make a decision on trading him well before he could sign that extension on October 1st. So to me, the question is, what are the Milwaukee Bucks going to do? What are they going to do with their head coaching spot? What are they going to do? They are going to have a lottery pick in this draft. What do they do with that lottery pick? They'll have 2 other first-round picks, future first-round picks, that they could trade. So will they trade one of those picks and look for players? Essentially, to me, it all boils down to, are the Milwaukee Bucks just kind of done with the idea of Giannis and moving on and moving forward? Or are they going to go out there and make the moves that they need to make to contend for championships again? Because that has always been the mandate with Giannis Antetokounmpo. For as long as I've covered the team now at The Athletic for 8 years, he's said, if you contend for championships, I will sign extensions. I will stay in Milwaukee.
Exactly.
I think that's what Giannis would like to do, but he's going to need the team to support him in that.
It's going to be a very interesting offseason for the Milwaukee Bucks. That is sure. They need a new head coach, and October is when Giannis could possibly sign that extension. Eric Nehm, he covers the Bucks for The Athletic. Eric, thanks so much, my friend.
Of course. Thanks for having me.